Hi guys, welcome back to another reading vlog. I'm doing something that I haven't done in a very long time. I haven't reread any of my favorite books in a very long time. I think to get myself out of this reading slump, I want to reread some of my favorite books, get back to that magic, get back into that world, just be happy to be reading. I'm just gonna be reading 3 books. Hopefully I will be able to read them, and I have no plans, so your girl's about to be in. One of the book that I'm reading, it is for a book club. I am reading Daisy Jones and the Six by Jenkins Reid. This is one of my all-time favorite books. There are so many moments that I truly enjoyed in this book, and I cannot wait to reread them, and also just to reread this book second time around. There's certain quotes that I missed, and I just want to get back into it. I truly enjoyed being in this world. Hopefully I enjoy it again the second time around. I'm on page 14 already. I'm oh, I've missed this. The other book that I am going to be reading in this reading vlog is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. This is a book club read that we are reading for the Lit Social Club here in Durban. I love this book. This is one of my all-time favorite messy romances, but just to even describe it as messy romance feels like I'm not doing it justice. And we're following the Faye who lost her husband 5 years ago, and she's just on a journey of healing, and this is the first time she's actively dating. It leads her to places. Okay, she meets this guy who she casually dates, which leads her to meeting another guy that she actually dates, that leads her to somebody else. That's all I get to say, just in case you haven't read this book. So excited also just to go back into this world. And going back to the island, I even forgot the name of the island that they go to. I just like to go to that scene. Akweke Emezi just set up the scene so beautifully, so I just want to go back there. Okay, I just want to go back there. Last one we have for this reading vlog, hopefully I will be able to get into this one, is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Guys, Yazzie, my books is slightly damaged. I was look guys, how can I this is a pandemic, okay? This is going to be a setup for a reading vlog that I actually want to do. This is between Nora and Charlie. Charlie is a book editor and Nora is a book agent. They had a run-in that wasn't so great. Now they find themselves in a small town together. They start working together and something builds on that. And Charlie reads. I want that. I want that. Hopefully you enjoyed this reading vlog as much as I'm going to enjoy reading all these books. And without further ado, let's get into reading. Second first impressions of this book. I'm currently on page 63. What I would say is that it's so fast paced. I think I do remember feeling this way the first time I read it, because it jumps from POV to POV. Everything is I'm not sure if I explained this book. Let's start there. Did I explain this book? We are following the Six, which is this group. They are a rising star band. They all have their own emotional stuff or personal stuff going on. Camille, who is Billy's girlfriend, is kind of entwined in the group as well. Start the show, who is Daisy, the it girl, my favorite girl. I love this girl so much. She has been through so much, at such a young age. She's such a cool girl without trying. I'm seeing the parallels between Camille and Daisy. And what a lucky man Billy was. Camille is cool in the way that it doesn't grab your attention at first. If you look close enough, she's a cool girl. I'm enjoying seeing Daisy again. I'm going through certain parts and I'm that was funny. Seeing also my annotations of certain things. It's so fast paced. Guys, I was on page 14 just now, which is how it was even the first time I read this book. A couple of years later after reading it for the first time, still reading it in my bedroom, and I'm still having the same feelings. This is what I've missed. I'm currently on page 63 and I'm having the time of my life. But so far, so good. It is a couple of days later. Sorry, not sorry. I have an update. I'm actually on page 289. I want to be in this world forever and ever. Is it possible to do so? No. I have to leave at some point. It's been 10 times. I'm not sure if I said this, but it feels 10 times better the second time around. I don't know why it took so long to reread this book. So one of the things that I'm kind of like rediscovering is how unreliable every single person is. It's like everyone's trying to paint themselves in good lights, or when they do show their flaws, it's kind of like, but I was justified into doing that. They were all there experiencing the same thing, but they will tell it in different ways. It's hard to believe who's telling the truth. Yeah, especially between Billy, obviously, and Daisy. And I feel like her and Daisy are the same, like the two sides of the same coin, in my opinion. And I say it again, Billy was a lucky motherfucking man to have experienced both of these women. I don't think he deserved it. I'm at a part where I dislike where Daisy gets married to that other guy. I hate that part. Absolutely hate that part. Underlined a couple of new things. I'll probably cry again. I'll probably just read You Made a Fool of Death after this one because it is a book club pick and I need to get bro. Daisy Jones carried herself, the way she was in full control of her own sexuality, the way she showed her chest through her shirt, but it felt like it was in her own terms. It was a seminal moment in the lives of so many teenage girls. In boys too, I understand, but I'm much more interested in what it meant for girls. When you're talking about images in which a woman is naked, subtext is everything. And the subtext of that photo, the way her chest is neither aimed at Billy nor at the viewer, the way her stance is confident but not suggestive. The subtext isn't that Daisy is trying to please you or the man she's with. The subtext isn't, my body is for you, which is what so many nude photos are. So many images of naked women are used for. The subtext for her body in that image is self-possession. The subtext is, I do what I want. That album cover is why I, as a young girl, fell in love with Daisy Jones. She just seemed fearless. I'm reading that entire little paragraph, I'm thinking of Rihanna and that iconic photo. Like, I'm reading this paragraph and I'm like, this is Rihanna. It's truly affirming to also see these kind of women in books. Like, she's such a flawed character, which is like also my favorite kind of character. You get what I'm saying? I finally finished this book. I don't know what I was expecting. It went from a 5-star to a 6-star. No regrets. This is exactly what I needed. I think I was so enthralled by Billy and Daisy and this intense chemistry that they had that I think the first time around I was very aloof to how their potential relationship or just like their connection was on other people. They were narcissists. If they failed to function, everything had to stop. Billy was dealing with addiction, everything had to stop. Daisy was nowhere to be found. Everybody would start panicking because it's like, I don't care how on time you were, the talent is not here. The chemistry or the connection that they had. Billy and Daisy will always be famous. I think Daisy was longing to be seen for so long. Yes, there was Simone. Also, let's talk about my queen, Simone. That's a queen right there. Besides Simone, nobody really saw or care about Daisy the way that Billy did. They saw each other in ways that nobody else could see themselves. And I think that's such a beautiful connection to have. Not that I didn't like Camille. I think because of what was going on, the band, and just being so focused on them and what was going on, at times it was easy for me to forget about her, how she was feeling. It's kind of like with Scandal and how you forgot about Millie. It was Fitz and Olivia. I think that's what I was feeling. But yeah, it bumped it up to a 6-star. Just to keep those good vibes going, I am in the middle of Made a Fool of Dead with Your Beauty by Akweke Emezi. Right where I'm at right now, I think I'm over like 100 pages. And Faye has gone to the island with Nasir. And guys, like, I understand Faye. Grief is it's an existing, living thing for the rest of your life. Right? You will see the type of woman that I like in books, but I do like complex and not straight, narrow characters in just general. It is because I think that's who we are in the world. You will never be a black and white person. You are a walking contradiction. And I love seeing that in books. It affirms me as also the type of person that I am. Going back to Faye and her being in the island, just realizing how, I think the first time around I was like, fuck Nasir. But I take it back. I think it's steps, but I'm just like thinking ahead that all these men that are being introduced in Faye's life, or being in part of Faye's life and part of healing, her taking the first step into being in romantic relationships again. It's all steps. I'm over 100 pages, which is good. I'm going to try to finish this book as quickly so that I can start book lovers. I'm going to carry on reading. Well, I just wanted to tell you guys that I finished Daisy Jones and the Six, and I'm currently 100 pages in of You Made a Fool of Dead with Your Beauty, and I'm already, my mind is already, it's going on overdrive thinking about book lovers. And I'll talk to you guys when I do have an update. My paintings, but I took them off. Hi guys, it's been a little more than a couple of days later since I finished Daisy Jones and the Six. I actually watched a series afterwards, which was also just an experience. Like, the casting was amazing. Everything about that book is like perfect. How original the writing style is, like it being like interview form, like getting different perspective. That book was perfection. I quickly moved to reading You Made a Fool of Dead with Your Beauty, which was our book club pick for September, and no notes. Are we surprised? No notes. This one we are following Faye, who lost her husband 5 years ago. Now it's like five years later. She is dating again. The book just opens up her dating again. It's one of my favorite opening lines, getting deep right into the story, which is how I feel Faye even like felt right at that moment. She was just like, no introductions, let's just do it. I'm not even gonna overthink it, let's just do it. So we follow her dating again. She is an artist. She does like paintings, sculptures, all sorts of arty stuff. She meets this guy who gets her this opportunity to be in a group show with like people that she looks up to. There she meets somebody else. She meets Alim. If you haven't read this book, I'm so sorry because I'm about to spoil it. She meets Alim, who the guy that she's dating, who brought her on the island, Nasir. Alim is Nasir's father. Akweke is twisted for making it like that. Like, she just didn't stop at friends. She said, we're gonna go to family. Reading this book the second time around, I have different feelings and thoughts on it. Like, the first time I read it, I was like, Faye is justified. She should do whatever she needs to do to heal, okay? Let her be. Now, I'm like, she should have just been a little bit responsible with the rights that she was given, which is the right to choose and be selfish in this moment. Feels like she found someone who has made her alive. A part of me now feels like they were trauma bonding. I felt the connection, I felt the chemistry and everything like that. It came out of like nowhere. Reading this book second time around put a lot of things in perspective for me. I still truly believe that grief is not linear. Choosing how you learn to live with grief or learn to move on from that is definitely not linear. But I feel like she could have been more responsible in how she handled the situation in terms of just like communicating with Nasir. She should have done better. I kind of wish, also this is me being messy, I kind of wish Nasir could have seen it for himself. I really enjoyed reading this book the second time around. I feel like the quotes that I remember reading hit harder than they did the first time. Yeah, it felt 10 times better. It felt 10 times better. I feel like I could say a lot about You Made a Fool of Dead with Your Beauty, just like how art is translated in so many different ways. Like, Faye does this thing. You will put something that is so significant to you, but make it very small, be part of this huge thing, which is what she has done with her art. And only Alim could see it, which also felt like Alim could see her in that instance. Like, I don't know, it can't get more intimate than that. I feel like I could say a lot. It's just like how art is translated, whether that be in painting, whether that be in music, whether that be even in food, because Alim is like Gordon Ramsay but like black. He's just like really amazing in the kitchen. Alim is just amazing. Alim, yeah, I love him. He was wrong for doing that to his son. I could yap endlessly about this book. I love it so much. After reading You Made a Fool of Dead with Your Beauty, I got right into reading book lovers, and let me tell you, this is why reread your favorite books, okay? Because why am I on page 286? This is the first update I'm doing. I love reading. This one we're following Nora and Charlie. Nora is a book agent and Charlie is a book editor. And they have this one encounter that was so unpleasant. They were both going through it during that time. Fast forward 2 years later, we see them meeting in the small town when Nora and her sister have like small town vacations. And who's in that small town? Charlie. Of course. I remember the first time reading it and feeling so affirmed in who Nora was. Yeah, there's a lot of grief that comes with letting go of certain dreams that you have set out for yourself. Nora has always had a dream of being a book editor, but she couldn't be because she just has responsibilities. Her mom passed away. She had to be the one looking after her and her sister. It's just like the premise of this whole book. What I have truly enjoyed this time, the places, Sunshine Falls, and also New York City. The places are characters themselves. Like New York feels very alive, of how Nora describes it, how she sees it, how she feels when she's in the city. Even with Sunshine Falls, it feels very much alive. Like Henry does this thing so well where she explains the place so well. Like, I want to go to Sunshine Falls. I'm not even sure if that's even a real place. Page 286, and when I tell you that I'm reading this book every second that I get, I actually do not want to finish it. I have to finish it because there are other books that are waiting for me. Oh, that's the thing about rereading. My expectations now are like in heaven. This is actually a setup, and I think I did say it at the beginning of the vlog that this is actually a setup. I'm gonna read this book last because it's actually a setup, because I don't want to get off the high. Hopefully I don't. Another great thing about rereading is that you get to experience a book again, but pick up things that you didn't pick up the first time. Charlie just does things that Nora desperately needs, but she would never say that she needs those things. Nora does these things where if she's picking up a new book, she will read the last page and then she will start the book again. She had this whole experience with Charlie. I'm not gonna say what experience it was, of like getting to know him and stuff like that. And she says, sometimes even when you start with the last page and you think you know everything, a book finds a way to surprise you, which is what I feel that has been happening with these rereads. I'm surprised, but in a new way. Like the feeling feels very new. It feels like I'm reading it for the first time, even though I'm not. I'm about to finish this book and give you guys my final thoughts, which will probably be the same thoughts. I'm having the time of my life. Is The Ghetto. I'm done, and what a perfect book. What a perfect way to close out this reading vlog with finishing Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Loved it. 5 out of 5. This book is actually perfect. Everything. Like, I wouldn't take anything out. I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yep, it's perfect. Emily Henry, love you down, baby girl. Love you down. The chemistry here is actually insane. Like Charlie, yeah, I'll think about him for a very long time. We definitely got our spark back with this reading vlog, so I would say this was very, very successful. It makes me very ready to pick up another book and get through my physical TBR. Do you know that I have 30 minutes till I kind of reach my goal? Because honestly, it is so unrealistic of me if I think that I will be able to actually reach my goal, which is reading 100 books for this year. I'm not gonna reach that, but I'm gonna try, because what? My mama raised no. Yeah. By finishing all of these 3 books and feeling the spark and feeling the love of reading again and falling in love with words. And what a perfect way to finish off this reading vlog. Perfection. I'm going to bask in this feeling. Thank you for rocking with me and watching my vlogs. I miss you, and I'll see you in that vlog. Bye.